Let's go ahead and wrap up today's show with a little bit of game picks and a little bit of discussion on some of the key games. Here we have 6 games to talk about, and we'll get to them as we get to them in the schedule for this first week.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kick things off with tomorrow's game. Tampa Bay is at home, back where they won it all last year. -8 at home versus the Dallas Cowboys coming out. Your thoughts on this game? This is the first one that we will talk about and actually give some real synopsis to.
I like the matchup. I mean, we're looking at a high-powered defense going against a very, very efficient offense, projectively. But Tampa has a well-balanced team all the way around. The issue here is the Achilles heel of this Dallas defense.
Yeah,
and
it's just
I don't know how big of an issue this is going to be, but we're going to find out in less than 24 hours. But with that, I like you were saying, Tampa should win this pretty.
Yeah,
I'm talking about 3 touchdown margin. Like,
okay, so you're taking Tampa and the points, -8.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. 8, that's it. It's 1 touchdown. Like, they're going to be within a touchdown. I understand the line. I'm like, in some games, I'm like, is that really responsible? Like, why are they like +22? You know, like.
Well, that was Kansas City all last year. There was like +15. -15.
Yeah, minus,
yeah.
Right.
I think at one point I saw him at like a -17.5, and I was like, God, do I actually take the points in this game? Because, man, I just don't know. But to me, this game I do have questions about. It might be my fantasy football brain coming out and hoping that Dallas is better on offense than what I think that they are.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. So when it comes to Tampa Bay, like you said, they're a very balanced team, and I respect that. Their front 7 is getting older, though. Outside of White manning the middle, they've got some aging or older guys on that front 7. Defensive back-wise, they are young. They definitely are experienced, obviously. They've been going up against Tom Brady all of last year and all this offseason. So they definitely have seen the best of the best at picking apart defenses,
right?
And how to mask that. But still, going up against other teams and new looks and what have you, Dallas has a high-powered offense. I will give them that. We still have questions about if Zach Martin is going to be there.
Right.
I'm expecting Zeke to have an insane season. I'd be shocked if he had more than 5 fumbles this season. I think Dak is back. He is completely healthy, as it is stated from Dallas's camp. He is back. His shoulder is fine, and he's zipping the ball across the yard. CeeDee Lamb, I think, is going to have a huge year. Amari Cooper is still a top 15 wide receiver in the NFL. And Michael Gallup is Michael Gallup.
Don't forget about Blake Jarwin now.
Michael Gallup. I'm
Greg Zuerlein.
Yeah, they got the kicker. I have a tough time because it's week 1, and I think me and you both
remember Greg Zuerlein. That's going to be a name we're going to hear a lot tomorrow.
I think we both know.
A lot.
Yeah. I think we both know from the fantasy aspect that week 1 is always an outlier.
Yes.
And we've seen Tom get caught in week 1 after winning a Super Bowl. And that team comes out flat. I don't expect that to be the case, though. And I guess I do know that this defense is slightly better. But defensive back-wise, I know that they're going to get burnt in this game. I just don't know if it's going to... I don't know how much Tom Brady and Tampa Bay are clicking on all cylinders. Obviously, they're returning everybody, so they should not have to build any rapport. Plus, again, they have Giovanni Bernard and that stable of running backs we were talking about earlier today with Rojo and Leonard Fournette. So... I'm taking Tampa Bay. I'm just contemplating if I'm taking the points. I don't know if this is going to be a blowout. I don't know if they're going to run away with this thing. I think this is a new Tom Brady that we're seeing. This is not New England. And with Bruce Arians being the head coach with this whole no risk it, no biscuit mentality, I think they're going for it. I'm going to take the points, but I'm taking it so conservatively. Like I'm taking Tampa Bay to go -8. They cover. They win by at least 9 points. I don't think it's going to be a triple possession blowout, like you're saying that they should have it at. I think it's going to be closer to
17.
I think it's just going to be a 10. It might be a 10-point lead that they make it out there with. Then
did you see that defense?
I know.
And what did they do to address that?
What I'm saying is this is just a proponent of week 1. This is not a proponent of Dallas is just that good.
They don't sell out for 1 week. Okay, got it.
Week 1 is just insane. We know this as
I
fantasy football players.
But
week 1 makes no freaking sense.
But that defense made no freaking sense. That
I agree.
Had to be arguably the worst defense I ever seen in my life.
I 100% agree.
I'm sorry, that's a hard sell for me. If this was buy or sell, I'm selling. I hear you. I just don't see it.
If this is buy or sell, I'm holding it only because it's week 1.
I understand. And you made a very good case, but you did not sell me on that alone. I just I get it.
I mean, we're both saying the same thing.
We are. We're
We're taking Tampa and the points.
I'm just taking the points. I'm just that defense is so.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's the one thing that's hampering this opening day game. Like, oh my God, why did they pick Dallas? Just because of the defense, not because of the offense is wonderful.
Yeah.
And Tampa brings their offense and their defense, and then they come with that. I'm like, oh my God, that by far is going to be the difference of the game. But. Neither here nor there. I think it's still going to be I like the matchup. I think that's solid.
I'm glued in for all 4 quarters.
Absolutely. This ain't going to be like a preseason game where by early second, I'm just lost interest. No, I don't. No. Even if it was a blowout, I'm watching no interest.
I'm watching everything.
Because it's game on. Anything can happen. I'm like, hell, damn, why would I not watch the 4th quarter?
Yep.
So, I just, I think it's going to be I think it will be a competitive game. But when I say like 17 points, it could be like 38, 24 or it's like 17 or something like that. I'm not doing the actual math, people. I'm just you get what I'm saying. It could get to something like that where they do score, they just don't score enough. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that because I would like to see some offense on both sides of the ball as opposed to I don't want to see a 24-3 game. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't want to see a blow. I don't want to see an interesting game to kick off the season.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to seeing that 10-3 game we saw with Chicago and Green Bay a couple of years back.
No, it's like, could we please say that's like week 7, week 8, but for week 1, just give us a balanced attack and give us a little everything and, make everybody happy because, of course, after tomorrow night, we in purgatory for 2 long days. It's going to feel like 2 weeks,
Well, let's move on to Sunday.
It will be worse than the week that we just had. Watch. Mark what I'm telling you. Wait till Friday morning.
No, because we'll be able to talk about it on Friday. Saturday is going to be a long day, but we have college football if you're into college football, and then you've got Sunday. So there is a little bit of reprieve. It's not. I don't think it's going to be like last week where I'm just dying, bored, trying to get. I'm waiting for this day so that we can record. I'm waiting for the fantasy draft. Right. It's not going to be like that.
Okay.
Got
it.
Let's move on to Sunday, though.
Yep.
First game of the day is going to be Philly versus Atlanta. Atlanta is -3. So they are saying on a neutral field. These are the same teams. So I'm taking Atlanta. I'm just going with it. Atlanta's at home. Philadelphia, I don't think that they're going to travel well. I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts. I still got to see him from more than 6 games where he did not look fantastic last year. So I want to see what this offseason has brought for him. Nick Sirianni, I want to see what he's all about. Atlanta, though, they've got a lot of issues, but I think that Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts, rather, and Calvin Ridley are going to have a good day. I have no idea who their running back is. Who is their starting running back?
Where?
Atlanta.
Oh, Mike Davis.
Ugh, that's a little tough. It's gonna be a day of throwing to me. Like that game is going to be all passing. Hayden Hurst, he's gonna have a good day. I think if he's sitting there on your on the fantasy waiver wire, might be a guy to look at for some people who don't have two tight ends. But yeah, Atlanta, I'm taking them. I don't think it's going to be necessarily close. But I don't think it's going to be any sort of a blowout. Maybe a 2-possession game, 10 points. Atlanta it's not going to be good football. Is my take.
Gotcha.
Your pick?
Oh, Philadelphia, 100%.
Taking Philly
over on Atlanta.
Yeah,
I know you're doing a week one thing again.
They're on the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give Philly a little more credit. I know you were down on, and I remember I got Philly over the Giants in the division. So
true.
It's just one of those. I don't have a post for them, but my point of it is, with me not having this good feel or grasp for this team, they continue to keep shocking me that they just keep getting upset win after upset. they win all at the right wrong games.
Yeah.
If that
I know,
makes
I
sense.
get you.
You know,
it's
like,
just I don't think that this is going to be a game where they're going to be able to overcome. I think they have got a lot to figure out on that offensive side of the ball, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that in a loud stadium like Atlanta's going to be.
I think Atlanta has the same issues, and as you're saying, I'm just
I have more faith in Matt Ryan than I do in Jalen Hurts, and that's just saying because Matt Ryan's at home. That's it. He's at home.
You must got a lot of faith in this Russell Gage because
I said the guys that I have faith in: Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley. Those are the two guys.
But that's the thing. Even with I know Pitts is out there, but yeah, when I think Calvin Ridley is about to see double teams like he's never seen before in his life, and
true.
I'm not saying that he's not prepared for it. I'm not saying he's not ready.
But they only have one DB in Darius Slay, so they can't. They literally can't double team because whoever is on the other side. Russell Gage is going to have a field day against whoever that other DB is.
That's true, but I mean, yeah, I can't make a hard case for Atlanta. I can't.
Yeah,
I won't.
I will say if this was flipped and Philadelphia was at home, I'm taking Philadelphia. I'm taking the home team with this. I agree with FanDuel and the line at -3 saying that these two teams are the exact same on a neutral field. So
I don't think Philly's that bad, but okay, let's move on.
Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Buffalo's at home -6.5. I'm taking Buffalo. Pittsburgh, I just don't think that they have any way of stopping Buffalo's pass rush for one. They're going to be able to stop the run. Buffalo is I don't think Pittsburgh has anything going for them on offense.
I mean, they got the weapons. I know. I get it. It's Roethlisberger, and we don't.
It's not even that.
He's on his last. I don't know, donut. You know, yeah, that's the tire, people. Spare tire. Yeah. But he's on his last one, and I get it. But when I'm looking at a Deontay Johnson, a Trace Claypool, even a rookie sensation, Najee Harris, you know, and I know a suspect offensive line. But they, James Washington over there, I like their offense. I don't like their quarterback, and
it's bad.
And I know he's an aging quarterback. I mean, even when he plays bad, he finds a way to play good. Like, how the heck did you throw for 400 yards in this game? But then he comes right back the next week and 211, two or three, interceptions, a fumble, and then probably left in the fourth quarter early because, got a gimpy leg because, it's just like he has the weirdest kind of career to me, and for some way, Pittsburgh finds a way to, they works all into their favor. And that's the success.
Only thing what gives me a little bit of pause about the 6.5 is the fact that they do have Mike Tomlin standing there. Pittsburgh does on their sideline where he's never been less than 500. But man, I think they've got a good shot at doing it this year.
Yeah. But I say all that to say they're not going into Buffalo and taking it. Really? Week one, just going to
snatch it.
Do you understand the ramifications that we would have to listen to on the airwaves the next day if they went in there and beat them.
Yeah.
Because everybody would have to eat their words about all this Buffalo love that I've been getting. Oh my, because Good Morning Football. Love the show. I can't stand their text the last couple of days. They are such, all of a sudden they are like super homers about whatever when they on to something. But all of a sudden now there's this turn in the atmosphere where they just all team Buffalo, and now Kansas City is like, what did they have? They was like, what Kansas City do? Well, they went and got some offensive players. They retooling their line.
We'll get to Kansas City.
No, I'm saying. No, my point was like, I'm like, they were 14. They lost one freaking regular season game.
We will get to Kansas City in a bit.
Are we? Oh yeah, we do. I'm sorry. I was just, but I digress. Pittsburgh is not going into no doggone Buffalo. I don't care what month it is. It doesn't even matter.
Buffalo's too good, and Buffalo is also a team on a mission.
Not even a week one upset. I just, if this happened, I would be shocked.
Not at home though. Like this, right? It's just you guys. The schedule gods smiled favorably upon Buffalo with this game. If it was on the road, I'd have a little bit more like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of something there. That's because those freaking Yinzers, man. They out there in Pittsburgh, they will get after it, and they will get rowdy for anything when they see number 7 trot out there in Heinz Field.
Right.
But no, in Buffalo, you have to deal with the Bills Mafia out there. That crowd is going to be insane. This is a crowd that hasn't gotten to physically see this rendition of a fantastic Buffalo team. They did not get to watch them at all last year, so they are going to really get after it when it comes time. And on Sunday, I guess 1:00 their time, they are going to get loud. They're going to get up for this game, and they are going to make it hell for Pittsburgh.
Right.
And I don't think it's going to be particularly close. But later, same time that day, Minnesota is going to be taking on Cincinnati. Cincinnati will be at home, but Minnesota is -3. I agree. I'm taking Minnesota. Minnesota is, I think, better than advertised. I think they've got a better defense this year. I do say this all hoping that, I'm not hoping, but all under the impression that Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback and he doesn't have COVID. So if he is the quarterback, he is at the helm, they will have a good start to their season. They will take on Cincinnati. I think that defense is just going to get after Joe Burrow and make it hard for him. Like we talked about last week, they traded away another offensive line piece, the very few that they did have. And I just think that Joe Burrow might be running for his life all season long. Not even going to get a chance to get the ball out to Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or whoever else is over there to try to pass catch over there. And maybe Joe Mixon can make things a little bit interesting and mix it up a little bit, but he might get injured pretty quickly here based off of just getting teed off on.
Right.
But Minnesota, like I said, they've got a good front seven. They've got a good defense. I think they're going to make this game hard for a young Joe Burrow to get out there. And then offensively, we're going to see some good stuff out of, I think, Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook to make this game quite fun.
Agreed. However, I have Cincinnati still in this game. I know we've discussed this. I just think Cincinnati's going to find a way to hold on and pull this one game out. But it's going to. But it's because it's
week one.
There's going to be spot stuff the rest of the way for them, just based on their strength of schedule and where they play. And but Minnesota, if there's one to grab, it's this one. And there's week one, and I'm like, this will be the one to win. And of course, it's Zimmer going against his former team and all that great stuff, and that ain't really much of a.
Not really.
It's so old at this point, but But
sure, they've already played in the past
at some point, at least once, but
that we didn't care about
exactly. And this is just a week one. Hey, we're gonna give y'all Cincinnati, where the Bears. Hey, y'all playing the Rams. What I'm saying, like I'm just saying division, right? Just from a divisional standpoint, like. So I mean, Minnesota can very well go over there and win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not super high on Minnesota either. No more than
I
I am.
understand.
I mean, I'm a little bit higher than them than Cincinnati, of course, but the fact that the only thing that really determining factor here is that they're at home. It's not a whole lot here, but
Gotcha.
considering everything you said, fair, because like already know, I'm they don't have an line. I'm pissed because yeah, they may be running for their life, but you know what? I think Joe Burrow is strong, is smart enough to put the ball in Joe Mixon's hand. You take a couple hits, dump the ball off quickly. You got 3 receivers, throw it to one of them. I mean, anyone that's got their hands out, just throw it. Will they find success in that? Not a lot, but this is gonna be typical Cincinnati, and then they're gonna self-correct next year, like always. And then they're going to be back in another 3-year rebuild. And then here we go. And then, it's just, here we go. Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Let's go ahead and move on to San Francisco and Detroit. San Francisco's -7.5. Detroit is at home. They don't have enough. They don't. There's offensive line wise. San Francisco's got all of their weapons back. Everybody's healthy for week 1. I'm not expecting them to all get injured in this game, so I'm taking San Francisco.
San Francisco, 100%. I just cannot, in good faith, take Detroit here.
All right. We can spend a little time here on this Arizona-Tennessee game. Arizona is on the road taking on Tennessee -3. Tennessee's the favorite here. This is not going to be an easy game. I am going to take Tennessee, but I would take the points with Arizona.
And what is it?
-3.
That's fair. I can't.
I see this as a 2021 game.
I was about to say, oh man, it's interesting you even said that. I was saying when I see these two teams, I mean, goodness, you talk about an AFC NFC coin.
Yeah,
here it is, right here, heads and tails. That these are the same teams, just in 2 different conferences. In my opinion, the way that I respect the hell out of both of these teams, and which is why I like this matchup. I'm like, man, this could be. Not that the NFL, they don't do this. I digress. I was gonna say, I remember we had a discussion about what should they do for the NFL when during the Super Bowl and like Super Sunday, and when should they play the Pro Bowl, or what should they do in place of the Pro Bowl? And I said they should have an honorary consolation game.
Yeah,
this would be that type of team. It's something like if you got the 2 championship losers play each other or something.
Yeah.
I can see, teams like this, like, man, that makes for an interesting matchup. But we went into it really hard about Arizona, but both teams got very, very nice defenses, not the number 1 or top 10, but they're right there. They're top half of the league in their defenses. And their offenses are just nice. They got very nice weapons. Arizona, just like Tennessee, they're very young, and so, but Tennessee did add some veterans over there to balance it out, as well as Arizona on the defensive side of the ball. But if you want to add AJ Green to it, I guess, but I'm not really expecting much out of him. But it looks good on paper. This one is one I'm just telling people, watch this, because I think it's going to be an opportunity to showcase these 2 teams and to really put it out there to America and put that in the back of your minds that these teams are really out there and they're, kind of chomping at the bit, really. So not necessarily saying this is anything about a Super Bowl preview or anything like that. No, but I think these are very strong, and speaking mainly to Arizona because of by default of the division that they're in, very strong playoff contenders here.
Who's your pick?
Oh, I got to pick a pick. I got the draw. No, I'm kidding. I gotta take Tennessee. I just I can't. As much as I wanted to say that, I'm like, I don't believe that. I just don't believe Arizona can go in there and take that in the first week.
Yeah. I guess this next one's an honorable mention game that we have. Seattle versus Indianapolis. Seattle's -2.5 on the road. Seattle's typically good at the beginning of the season, so I'm taking Seattle in this game. It's tough. I think this is going to be another same I would take Indianapolis with the points.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Seattle will get the win. This might be a 24-22 game, something weird like that. To
22-18.
Yeah, like it's going to be a tight, well-contested game.
Yeah,
it's going to come down to the last play of the game, whether it's Russell Wilson scoring or it's going to be Seattle and Jamal Adams getting that final stop. But I think Seattle will pull it out. It's early on in the season. That's the only reason why this would probably be. It's not an upset because obviously it's Seattle's favorites, but on the road, this is going to be a nice steal for them if they do pull it out. I would not be shocked if Indianapolis came out and won this game. I just think since it's early, this will be the only time that we would assume that Pete Carroll would allow Russ to cook.
I agree.
This week,
I agree with that. The whole take. I got the same pick. I mean, I'm not. It has nothing going against Indianapolis, but the continuity just hasn't been there. I mean, Wentz has been out. It's week one. It's gonna need some game speed, and out the gate you got to face a Seattle team. I'm not saying Seattle is a juggernaut, but that is not a team you necessarily need to facing.
Because the other thing is that you don't want to get in it's the beginning of the year. You don't want to get in a shootout. In Seattle, I don't think that Seattle has a defense that's going to be just a straight up just juggernaut. You can't get past them.
Right.
This is not the Legion of Boom anymore, obviously. But it definitely is a team that you're gonna be like, oh God damn it!
Alcohol is pesky. Just my goodness.
The only thing that really I would say would allow me to pick Indy, which why I don't think this is a home run pick and me taking Seattle, is the fact that I still believe there's no KJ Wright on this Seattle defense. He's a free agent still. So I know they've been talking all offseason on, hey, we'd like to figure something out to bring you back for one more year or something like that, but they just haven't been able to get it figured out. So I think that both sides are moving on.
Right.
So that's where it stands right now. But I just think Seattle will be able to pull that game out. You do the same. I think there's not really too much more to say on that one.
No.
Let's talk LA Chargers versus Washington. We can spend a little bit of time here. This is actually a sneaky, just really, really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Washington is at home. LA Chargers have to go on the road to start off this new campaign with Justin Herbert. They're a -1, so they are the favorites to win it, but not by very much. This is saying at a neutral site, we're looking at LA being a -4. So pretty close game. I'm going to take the Chargers and the points here. I think they're going to be able to get them on the road. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Washington's defense to get going this season. And against an offense like this with Austin Eckler and Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, it's just going to be a lot to have to try to keep up with. They're going to put some pressure on Justin Herbert over there. But with this new retooled offensive line, I think it's going to be much tougher to get after him. So I think he will have a little bit of time to make some plays. And he'll get off to a good campaign start for his sophomore year, trying to build off that Rookie of the Year award.
Interesting take. I got the football team. I complete opposite here, where I think their defense is going to be fine. I think they're led by their defense. If nothing else, no one else is ready on either side of the ball, it's the defense. Yeah. And yes,
I'm saying as a whole team, it's going to take a second for them.
And I do like what the Chargers did to retool the line and to give protection to Justin Herbert. However, I don't know if that what they did in the offseason is greater than what this defense is in Washington right now. And I don't know. I'm just in this week one. Yeah. Collision course, and they're on the road. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna disrespect the football team just yet. I think I'm just.
I don't think I was being disrespectful.
I understand you were being disrespectful, but you kind of a homer over there with the Chargers. So I'm just
I have to be right about that.
Super biased, and I'm like I see all what you're talking about with the Chargers. And I'm like, I got that, but I'm like, man, hold on, they on the road. And I know the road don't necessarily mean nothing, but you know, I mean, they're on the road in the aspect they got to go into this hostile Washington D.C. environment. You know,
I don't know if
where
it's that hostile. I don't know if they really get behind
hostile
Washington
just
that way.
on the football team field. That's it.
I guess
You
so.
know, I mean, it's really more hostile outside of the field. But truth be
Jesus.
told, yeah, I talked about you all, DC. You know who y'all are.
With that, who we thought they were,
right? So with that, I think the line is very set. Well, I think it's gonna be a very close game.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. We know what the football team is too. They are a gutted out, drag out. They're gonna run the score up, anything like that.
I just don't think.
Notice I have not even talked about the offensive side.
And that's what I was about to say, because I don't think I have enough faith in Ryan Fitzpatrick to come out and beat LA's defense.
Right. I don't even know what we have or what they have in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I know I'm a little more higher on him, but I have to agree with you. Yeah. I have no idea how this is going to fit in Washington. I'm just waiting to see. Yeah. I'm just like,
and I want to see Antonio Gibson, how he's going to be able to play, especially coming off of that injury. That's going to be another big thing. Terry McLaurin, can he stay freaking healthy for once, please? I would like to see a full season out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Samuel's over there though, but he's already injured, so he's coming off. What is it? Hamstring, knee, something with his legs.
Yeah, it's.
So that's where I'm at. I'm just like, they've got that offense is just so. I've never seen Washington's offense be good outside of the 6-game stretch with Alex Smith a few years back. That was the only time I've ever seen Washington's offense be certifiably good and be at the top half of the league. And I'm like, well, I just don't think that's who Ryan Fitzpatrick is. I'm not trying to take a shot at him. I'm not trying to say that I'm super low on him. He is Fitzmagic. He can have a game, 2 or 3 games where he's just insane and nobody can stop him because it's just football gods are smiling on him that day.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how many more of those games he has left, and I don't know if it's going to come against a young, budding LA Chargers team that has, to me, all the pieces there to beat a team like Washington.
Gotcha.
So that's my only thing, and I do agree with you though. This game is at home, that's why it's going to be tough for LA to win it, because neither one of these teams are an easy out. Like these are going to be 2 tough teams to beat every single week,
which I
in
think
the NFL
could arguably be game of the week. I know there's some other matchups, but I'm just on logistics of this. Like you were saying, this could be a sneaky one of these. Oh my God, did you see that Chargers football team game? I mean, like,
and won't that be the smack in the mouth to tell you that the NFL is changing,
right? And I mean, which is why they're kind of on this list. It's it's a very interesting component to put these. And I'm already talking about like Arizona, Tennessee. I'm like, this was a little bit more intriguing, actually. You know, it's a little bit more at stake because the other 2 teams are kind of like 3rd and 4th in line, kind of just waiting to try to get their turn type of thing. But nevertheless, man, I do like this game, but I got football team just edging them. You know, it's not about much, but and
I think either way it's going to be a close.
I don't even
game.
think it's going to be I think aesthetically it's going to look ugly. I just don't see it being. Oh my God, did you see that 80-yard bomb that Justin Herbert threw? You know, like no, because he didn't throw one. You know, so but yeah.
Let's be quick about these last 2 in the noon slot here.
Will do.
Because I want to get to the Clevelands, and these midday games are pretty interesting. Let's talk Jets versus Panthers. Panthers are a -5.5. That's actually a sneaky line there that I think it's an interesting line. I think it's a bit much. But I'm taking Carolina. I'm taking Carolina at home. Sam Darnold's going to be pissed. He's looking at that Jets, what is it, the gangrene looking at the other side. So he's going to come out and he's going to pick apart that horrible Jets defense. What is the Jets defense? What is their scheme? Who do they have over there? Nobody of note. I decided CJ Mosley maybe, but we haven't even seen him in 2 years. So,
yeah, not a very aspiring defense at all.
Yeah, I think I am super high on Carolina as a team. I think they're a sneaky pick to make it to the playoffs in the NFC.
That's interesting. You have mentioned that, but it's
to
interesting.
me, it's based off of Matt Rule, and I think that Matt Rule taking in Sam Darnold, if he can revitalize his career, this team has nothing to go but up. So
they got the rookie of the year anyway. So I mean, just throwing it out there. No, I'm kidding. Okay. We shall see.
I mean, it's possible. I
hope so.
So I like Carolina and their offense and their defense. I think that they've got a sneaky good team over there, and I don't think the Jets are going to be able to hang in this game.
When you got that, when we talk about like Arizona's like almost like the next team to try to make that next move up. I think they're trying to make that next move to the next tier. Well, somebody has to take Arizona's spot. This is I can see where Carolina is that team. And,
I think Carolina's moving up with the rest with Arizona right now. I think they're on the same trajectory. I think they do have a little bit more to do,
right?
But I think they will have the opportunity to do that based off of what Matt Rule is able to develop with these young guys.
Right.
I think Matt Rule is a sneaky guy to think about for head coach of the year. Go back a couple episodes, listen about that. But I think Matt Rule is a guy who's going to be able to help develop some of these younger guys into something that is going to resemble a what we already are seeing with Arizona.
Right.
But your pick on this game here?
Oh, hands down, Carolina.
Alrighty. Then I didn't think you were going the other way, but just had to be sure.
No. I'll let you take the whole segment. I have nothing to add to that.
Let's talk Jacksonville and Houston then quickly here. Jacksonville's -2.5. I'm going with the upset. I'm taking Houston at home.
I'm going back to what we talked about, and I already remember, so I have Jacksonville. So
okay.
I think I might have gave Houston maybe the second game. I have to go back and look at the numbers, but I don't. It wasn't in week 1. I remember that. It's like hell no, because my thing was like Jacksonville was going to pull. I was going to say the upset, and I was like, is it really an upset? Like kind of.
Well,
thing.
Jacksonville's a favorite, so.
As they should be, and that's the point. I do believe, once again, Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville. However, we've seen what they happened in the offseason. If there's ever was a turn to be made, it was this offseason. Then, of course, Travis Etienne goes down for this year.
Yeah.
And Tebow.
Well, but they still have.
They decided to not let Tebow be on the team.
They have Robinson though, so I'm not really worried about that on that side. With their running back situation anyway. I just think Houston is at home. Tyrod Taylor, I that is the thing to me. Tyrod Taylor is a starting quarterback, and he was winning games with the Chargers. He was winning games with Cleveland.
Was he winning games with Buffalo?
Yeah, he was the one who got them in the playoffs that last year. So it was, and I will go back and I will die on his heel. He was the reason they made it to the playoffs that year.
Nah. He don't move the needle for me. I don't care what you tell me.
I like him. I think he's underrated as a starting
he's
quarterback.
He's that guy that you see in fantasy.
He just keeps getting stabbed in the freaking legs and
exactly. And he's just that guy.
There's
you just
always some
past.
Weird health anomaly with Tyrod Taylor. So I think for the first couple of weeks, for the first 3 weeks, Houston is going to be afloat.
You want to know what his anomaly going to be on week 1? That he's healthy.
Well,
please, knock on wood. They haven't played. The kickoff has not started yet.
That is true. And we that was the case last year.
Go in and just talk to the doctor just to get a recommendation, and all of a sudden,
this is my team. This is my game of the week. Midday, Cleveland, Kansas City. Kansas City's at home, -6.5.
Come on, man.
Where are we at? I mean, let's let you take this
rematch. And they doing all this talking, and I mean, the Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo and Cleveland getting a lot of love in the last week for some strange reason. Like this is it's just amped up. I'm only saying this in the context of Kansas City because I like the teams, but when it comes to this, I have a real problem with where this narrative is coming from. Like Kansas City is just they didn't. All they did was just. Fix
their biggest issue.
No, not their biggest issue. I mean, I know you've been. not their biggest issue, but I'm gonna say it as my home, they only issue because the defensive backfield wasn't an issue last year, not to the point of their success of them winning.
Well, but I think it is their other issue based off of they let Brashad Breeland go.
True. That is a problem. That's going to be something they need to address at some point this season.
I'd be surprised if they're not in the early season trade market.
They would have to be
for a
if
corner.
One person goes down for like a week or so, just tweak an ankle.
Oh, yeah,
you're already short. It's like, but they exhausted so much energy on the offensive line, and they're so deep everywhere else. And I cannot not mention one of the third transactions that they did that we really don't talk about enough. They cut and let go Sammy Watkins. We did not need him. I'm sorry. He just.
They didn't waste the money on him.
Waste the money.
Yeah.
It's just for what he was putting out, man. I'm good, man.
I
Bring up Brian Pringle, please.
No, I totally get it. But even with that, I'm taking Kansas City.
Right. I mean, 6.5. I'm like, okay.
But are you taking the points? That's the question. That is actually what would be the topic of conversation here. The 6.5 points. They have to win by a full touchdown to cover.
Absolutely.
Really?
I think they're gonna win by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right.
I like Cleveland. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not losing faith. I'm not losing sight. Wait. I'm not losing. I'm getting tired. I'm not losing sight of this is freaking Kansas City.
True. I get you.
See, and that's the thing I'm talking. They lost one legitimate regular season game last year, and people are just kind of sneezing at that, like, what? Who else is doing that? Nobody.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, but that is the attention span of us as a society is so bad. Like, and then the recency bias, and that also got everybody down on skin. Did you see what Tampa Bay did to them? And ignoring all the reasons as to why that happened, And I'm like, well, okay. Kansas City, I got them by a double-digit win. I don't know where. It could be 14, it could be 10, it could be 11. I don't care. Just by double digits. I'm not saying it's gonna be a blowout, but I think Cleveland is solid. They, as you went from top to bottom, and I'm on board, lockstep. Just as excited about. Well, not just this. I'm very excited about Cleveland. Not just as excited for Kansas City, but. But for where they've gone, where they've been, and where they're going, I have that kind of excitement, because I've never seen this kind of push out of this franchise ever, which makes this particular matchup definitely has to be the game of the week. I'm saying like sneaky football team in Chargers, but as an undercard. But I'm saying this game should be the game of games.
Oh, this is going to be a slugfest. It's not. This is what I'm going to say is not going to be a pretty game. I think I'm not saying that it's going to be necessarily sloppy, but I think it is going to be an absolute dogfight.
And that's what you got. A solid. I just want to throw this in really quick. A super solid defense, Cleveland defense versus a very good Kansas City defense. And then you got a awesome, stupendous Kansas City offense versus a very good Cleveland offense. I'm like, oh my God, man! Like, just the matchups, it meshes so well.
Yeah.
It is what you would want to see in a Super Bowl.
Two of the most complete teams in the NFL
right.
going head to head. I like it.
Yep.
Later on in that day, maybe like 10 minutes later, they kick off Miami at New England. New England is -3 in this game. I went back and forth in this game quite a few times, but I'm going to just leave it at the fact. New England's at home. Mac Jones taking the help. Miami still clearly does not have faith in Tua. I'm taking New England at home.
Oh, I want to remember who did I pick. Miami is at New England?
Miami is on the road, yes.
When in doubt, I go with New England.
Yeah. All right. Green Bay is on the road, as well as New Orleans is with this game in Jacksonville.
Like what? Oh, like, okay. Did I hear you right?
Green Bay is -4 in this game. Favorites. I'm taking Green Bay.
Green Bay against New Orleans in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville.
in Green Bay. On the neutral field.
Yeah.
No, they took the game away. They took the win away from New Orleans when they moved it out of New Orleans. There's no
They
chance.
took the win away from New Orleans when they got rid of Drew Brees.
You can get rid of him. He
left. Denver is going to wrap out the midday games on the road versus the Giants. Denver is -2.5 in this game. Your thoughts on Denver in MetLife and who you're taking in that game?
That's a good one. Just for the hell of it, I'm taking the Giants. Just
there we go.
Just because it's close. Let's go. I've been poo.
Is that your upset of the week? Is that who?
I don't know if it's really. Is it really? Is it an upset?
Technically, I mean Denver's -2.5. So
all right, that'd be my upset of the week. Then, yeah, I guess.
Outside of not even to say Philadelphia taking on Atlanta, those are the only really. No, easily Cincinnati over Minnesota. Then I think is your upset.
Oh, great, that'd be my upset. Cincinnati at home against Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a huge upset.
Ridiculous.
God, Minnesota, you're gonna get accosted if you lose to Cincinnati.
Yeah, but this would be my next one in line.
On Minnesota if they lose to Cincinnati. I'm just tell you that right now.
And I will let you have as much time as you need. And I won't say anything and I won't interrupt you. So, then because they deserve it.
All right.
But yeah, game. I had to close my laptop because.
It's Denver, New York. They just. You took New York in that game.
It's a week one, and I mean it's supposed to be slated as a close game. I can see it's gritty, but at the end of the day, it's New York. I think New York is just gonna, they. If there's nothing else, you can't have pride in week one, New York. Just saying, that's all I need to say.
Right. Sunday night football, Chicago on the road in the home of the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium, taking on the LA Rams. That is a -7.5 for the LA Rams. My fandom wants me to take Chicago in this game, but the more and more I do my research and I look at this, I have to take LA, but if I'm betting this game, I'm taking the points with Chicago.
I was thinking the same thing. Thinking the exact same thing. Everything in me wants to say I can find 5 or 6 reasons as to why they'll win this game.
Yeah, I know.
However, I don't even want that kind of show right now, and I'm like, I think that should be its own segment by itself. But I'll give all the whys and how it can happen, and realistically, but with that being said, and me guessing, I believe the Rams is that team, now, and I know Stafford is there, and we still waiting to see. It's just like, oh my God, they would put this in week one.
Yeah,
like I have nothing to go off of. But they at home, they making Chicago travel halfway across the country, and they're gonna roll Andy Dalton out there, which has gotten very little coverage this whole time he's been there. It's almost like to the point like, did y'all realize Andy Dalton's even in Chicago? They do not virtually never talk about him.
They don't. Well, what they do talk about is the fact
camera even panned him in a uniform at any point, because I haven't even seen him dress at any point yet.
Yeah, you have. You saw
when
he played in 2 preseasons.
I didn't see remember, I came in late. I came in the second half. I didn't see his drive. I didn't see none of his reps.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, because both of them are on NFL Network. You're right.
Right.
You did not see it. I have seen him. He has dressed.
He has played? He has actually played. It was actually Andy Dalton?
Yes, it was actually Andy. That red hair definitely showed through that helmet.
It wasn't like Anthony Dillon, somebody else.
When it comes to talking about Chicago, what you get is, oh, why aren't they starting Justin Fields? Why? And to me, it's like, okay, let's actually unpack this.
Who started that narrative?
ESPN, as you know. And
they don't even talk about
sitting here and I'm like,
oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Why would we not, with the offensive line we all agree we don't freaking have, why would we trot out Justin Fields to just get absolutely demolished by Aaron Donald week one? What benefit do we get from that?
Which in, I don't know, 6-7 weeks ago, it was the whole, remember the Patrick Mahomes thing. So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to let him sit. It's going to be okay. It was all right.
And it really pisses me off.
They got away from that.
One person on ESPN really started to get on my nerves about it. And I've already, last season, with all of his takes, I've already was kind of out on him. Marcus Spears, you can shut the hell up. Don't talk
Why
about
did I
Chicago
know
football.
You was gonna say him? Because
don't talk about Chicago football anymore. I just you don't clearly understand what it takes to be in a successful offense in the NFL. You were a defensive dude. You stick to looking at the defensive side of the football, and I will respect those takes. Anything about the offense, I don't want to hear it coming from his mouth because you know what's going to happen, and you know how you can stunt the progress of a young budding quarterback by getting him absolutely. We heard it on ESPN on your very network.
But that's the very problem in this in the answer that you shared, ESPN. The fact is they are being pressured to just push the story, push the narrative.
Yeah, like, but what I'm saying is because we heard it on ESPN Monday Night Football. Sam Darnold, he goes out there and he's getting absolutely demolished by, I think it was Detroit's defense. Out of all the defenses that could have gotten after him, it was Detroit, and he had still the sound NFL clip. I'm seeing ghost.
Still an NFL defense.
I know, and I'm like, why the hell? If that happened against a Detroit defense,
right?
Why the hell would we ever go up against top 5 defense in LA and trot out a guy who we literally don't have an offensive line to protect him? Like, we don't have Tevin Jenkins on the left side. We have Sam freaking Mustipher as our center. Cody Whitehair is on the left side. James Daniels is our right guard. And our right tackle, I still don't know. Is it Jermaine Afidi? Is it Elijah Wilkerson? Like, who is our right tackle? I don't know. And the guys that are there are not good enough to stop Aaron freaking Donald.
And again, clickbait nonsense. It's just just get those likes and shares up, and it's just everybody has a hot take out there, and I'm done listening to this guy because I'm tired. He knows everything about football. I mean everything,
but he still keeps picking the Dallas Cowboys to win the freaking Super Bowl, and
he
they
knows
never get
everything
close.
About basketball. I'm like, dude, have you ever even played basketball? I mean, God, you as big as a house. Like, I'm sure you did not. You don't look like you can run that far for very long back and it's just, I'm sorry, I'm getting on the Marcus Spears. I don't like his takes anymore. It's just
I never have and I never will.
It's something about the the Marcus Spears IE Kendrick Perkins. We just giving y'all all the rope you can use to just. That's the new direction we're going in. I do not like their platforms at this point. And moving on, this is not about them. We're talking about the Bears. Like you said, I like the points, but not necessarily to win. I can give 6-7 reasons as to why they could win and why they should win. But, with that being said, I
think 7.5 is too generous for what LA is. That's too many points. You're telling me that there's no way Chicago can make this a 1-score game. Like that, I don't believe that in the slightest. Now, would I be surprised if Chicago lost by more than 1 score? No. Would I be shocked if they got completely blown out in this game?
And yes. This is almost like the Dallas game we were talking about. It's in reverse. Yeah. We're talking about the offense versus. Dude, when I last looked, Chicago still had a very, very solid defense out there. So
exactly,
it's just not.
Plus, we also have a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, I'm like, well, we're supposed to just go in there and get punched in the mouth, and just go home. I mean, I think it's still going to be a game.
And I'm really excited to see what we've got out of Khalil Herbert.
And exactly. And let's factor in, this is the 12 o'clock game, right?
No, this is
absolutely. It's a primetime Sunday night game. You don't usually get that with just one team.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
Okay, Kansas City is playing Houston in the Sunday night game. Why? Because it's Kansas City. You're not going to see that.
I will say we do get that on Monday night with Baltimore versus the Vegas Raiders.
Stop.
It was a joke. I'm making a joke.
It's week 1.
I know.
Do they still have a doubleheader thing going? Or
no,
they stopped that after last year, I believe.
No, they did it last year.
Did they?
I believe so. But this year they're not doing it because with the new TV rights deal, I think. There is there's another game this week that is going to be the others. I can't remember. There's something with the new TV rights deal. There's no doubleheader for ESPN anymore. I think. It's because I think ESPN is now getting an extra playoff game.
Okay, so that would usually be one of those 2 games. Would be kind of this. What was that? But you didn't care because it was week 1. You're like, just give me football. I don't care. You know, it could be like,
Yeah.
it's not
It
as
would've-
bad. It's
the
not as
other-
bad as the Thursday night games.
I think the other
matchups, I should say.
Monday night game would have been Denver, New York.
See something, it would be something like
Yeah.
that, you know, and everybody would be tuned in watching it too.
Well, I'm watching that in the midday slot
You know,
anyway.
right? It's just as long as you just don't give me that in week 6, you know, I don't want that.
Oh,
you
God,
know.
no. But Baltimore, Vegas, Baltimore on the road is a -4.5 favorite. I'm taking them in the points. I think Baltimore is still a solid team. I think that they're going to be competitors in the AFC North. I have my questions about Vegas. I will say this: I might take Vegas with the points, just being that this is their first game in that new stadium, and Vegas is going to get up for this game.
That is the consensus, but I've seen times where, you know, all that's all put before the team, and they come out just as flat as all get out.
And I could see that happening,
'Cause
but
they
I just don't, based off of, I don't know what. I just think I have a little bit.
It's Baltimore. I can't go against Baltimore in week 1. I
I'm
know they're on
taking
the
Baltimore.
road, but I'm just gonna take Baltimore. It's the safer pick. If you know, hey, if Vegas make a game out of this, great, wonderful. I'm all for it. But and I do like the element that is the first game in it's Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm almost like anything can happen now. You know, but Baltimore should win this one. I ain't gonna necessarily easy. They should win this convincingly.
Yeah.
Just
Agreed.
until Vegas shows me something different. You know, I just think they're just kind of that middle of the road. We trying to get to the playoffs type of team. You know, we kind of, you know, we're not a 4-win team, but we like that 7. Yeah, and a good if the wind's blowing right, we might win 8 games. You know, and that's fine. They're 500. Yeah, they're a 500 team. That's the best way to put it.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's episode. You guys go ahead and like, rate, and subscribe to this show. And again, just check us out on Twitter at @the_square pod, and come back next week for 3-4 more episodes actually, in regards to week 2, recap of week 1, and looking ahead at week 2. Thank you guys again for listening. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Have a good night. Red Kingdom.